So another little quickie but goodie when we start talking about forms and some of the things that can have a great impact on form success. So I'm going to show you these with kind of some smaller forms, but especially this is very applicable for big forms, and that is actually the placement of the buttons. And so one of the things you see that Microsoft likes by default is they like to have this save button over here to the side and the cancel button actually on here. And that's because that's very much like the Microsoft interface in their Office apps. But the fact of the matter is, what happens is a lot of times what people actually are still very used to in web forms is this whole right justification. You might say, why? Well, one of the things that you see a lot is the reordering of these buttons, otherwise the cancel being over here and the save being over here actually in the form itself. Well, the thing is that people still have this perception, and again, this has to do with how people have been using the web for years, is that the right button takes us forward, the left button takes us back. And so in this particular instance, the right button is the save, because we've actually modified this so that the save sits on the right side, and that save button actually takes us forward, and that we're actually doing something to progress to success, and the cancel button actually takes us backwards because we're actually canceling out of this. Now, this is kind of a simplistic example. You could take this with many, many more buttons and what it means, but overall you've got to understand that people want to go in there. And you don't think this is a big deal? Well, actually, I'll tell you, this has been a really big deal for a lot of users in all the usability studies I've done, where people kind of mess around with their placement of where buttons exist, and people tend to fail.